Okay, so now we're moving on to multiplying integers. Okay, so how can I write 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 in terms of multiplication? Okay, so basically, I would have this many times 2, right? Which is equal to 10. And I know that, so this is 2. I have 5 of those 2's, right? And that equals 5 times 2 is 10. That's how it works, right? So now if I have 5 times 7, how can I write it as addition? So I would write 7 5 times. So 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, and I know that equals 35. Okay, so how do I write 5 times 2/3? Well, I could write 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3, and I'd write that 5 times, and then I would add them, knowing my denominator would stay the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and it'd be 10/3, and then I could reduce it further. How would I write this one? So I would write minus 2 plus minus 2 plus minus 2 plus and plus. That's negative 2. Okay, and that means I'm adding those negatives that many times. So that would be 10, but that would be negative 10 because I would be moving left on the number line. So when I'm adding negatives, I'm moving left on the number line, right? And the numbers are getting smaller. All right, so write each of these as repeated addition. So I'd like you to just pause, and I want you to see and compare your answers. I want you to answer these questions. What patterns do you see here, and what generalization can I make from those patterns? So what rule can I come up with? Then I want you to come back. All right. Minus 3 plus minus 3, so that is going to be, oops. Not as many times as I needed to, and that would be minus 15, right? Okay, so minus 2 plus minus 2. And we can already see a pattern forming here. Minus 4 plus minus 4 plus minus 4 plus, oops, too many minus 4s. I was getting carried away there. Won't let me erase. Okay, so minus 4 plus minus 4, and that's going to be equal to negative 8. Okay, so this is negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3, and that's going to be equal to negative 12. And this is just negative 1 plus negative 1 plus negative 1. All right, so all of these are going to be moving. I'm hoping the pattern you see here is left on the number line. So negative 7 plus negative 7 is negative 14. So we're moving further and further to the negative. Okay, so the generalization that we can make here is if I multiply two positives, I'm going to get a positive. If I multiply a positive with a negative, I'm going to get a negative. So a positive times a positive equals a positive. A negative number times a positive number is going to result in a negative number. Okay, and we can see that with all of these. All right, so order of operations. This we're going to take up tomorrow in class, so make sure that you have a good look at this, okay? So, Sarah, Tom, Jacob, Rosa, they all tackle this problem in a different way. I want you to think about, without calculating, okay, whether Sarah's calculation, I don't care if it's right or wrong, I want you to know, be able to explain her thinking. Okay, then be able to explain Tom's thinking, like how is he approaching the problem, what is he doing. Same as Jacob, same thing. the problems and what are they doing, like how is he thinking about this problem. This is what's important. This is why we want you to show your work. Okay, and Rosa, how is she thinking about this problem? Okay, then after you've done that, then I want to know which ones are right and which ones are wrong. But the most important thing is, what are they thinking? And we're going to go over this tomorrow. So pause here. All right. When we're thinking of order of operations, remember we go brackets from left to right, right? We start on this side and we move this way, just like we read. Brackets, multiplication and division, okay, from left to right. And then adding and subtracting from left to right. So if I'm going to do this problem A, I would start here and go this way. So I would go 15 plus 4 times 5, okay, and then I know I can go 15 plus 20, and then this is 35. Here I can go brackets first, right? This is going to be 12 plus 3 times 2, that's 6 plus 12, and this is equal to 18. Okay, now I'm just going to have you do these problems here and see what the difference is. So pause and just do these problems. All right, so this is going to be negative 12. I can check this because I'm going negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3, right? And if I do in the brackets here, 2 minus 5, I'm going to be going further on the number line to the left. That's going to be negative 3, right? Because if I look at the number line, oops, this is 2. And then I go, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. All right, and then I'm going to multiply by 4, and that is going to be negative 12. So knowing I've multiplied a negative times a positive, I'm going to get a negative number. Okay, so same with these. Just pause, do these, and then come back. All right, so this is going to be negative 3 times 4, right? And that is negative 12. So first I just think of what is 3 times 4, and then I can just add the negative sign in because I know this is going to be negative. All right. Now, what do you notice? Okay, we've got the same answer for all of these. Okay, so there's different ways that we can write these problems, but we use the distributive property in order to be able to do this properly. I could have just multiplied the 4 in, but I decided just to do the easiest brackets first and then. All right, so now I'm looking at 2 negative numbers. And what does this mean? So it's really like I can't just go negative 3 and then if I'm looking here, this is confusing. So I'm doing this 2 times. Now I am not multiplying or adding anymore. I'm subtracting because of the negative, and I'm going to do that, okay, twice. Now remember, when we are taking away the negative, right? We're taking away that loss. So this becomes a positive there. So we're taking away the loss. That's how we need to see it. And we're doing that 2 times because this tells us we're doing that 2 times. So both of those losses disappear and they become positives. So if I have 2 positives multiplied together, I'm going to have a negative number. If I have a negative number times a positive, it doesn't matter which one comes first, I'm going to end up, this is positive, with negative answers. If I have 2 negatives multiplied by each other, okay, that's what happens. And they cancel each other out and they become a positive. So we're taking, it's like we're taking away that loss both times that we're adding those together. Okay, so this answer, if I can just multiply the 3 and the 2, that is 6. And I know that those negatives cancel each other out, and the answer is a positive. All right, so just practice that with these, knowing that 2 negatives make a positive, 2 positives make a positive, and a negative and a positive make a negative number. And then come back. All right, so this is going to be 15, right? This is going to be 21, 20, and 6. Okay, so that's it. There is a worksheet for you to practice. Make sure you come into the help sessions if you need to.